hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Build a seed with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody? What's going on, Titan Nation? Welcome on into a very special edition of TNT Tonight. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. And we're going to have a very, very good show on this evening. Got some exciting news. So definitely get ready for that. We're going to have some fun here. Definitely make sure you share this show out. You can, of course, follow on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Facebook, TNT Enforcers. On Twitter, at TNT Blue Enforcer. And on Instagram, at Titans _in_ truth. Of course, all of that is at the ticker below, so you can definitely follow me there. So I welcome everybody into the show. Also, if you can definitely check out as many episodes as I try to put out. Also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast as well. So all of that is gonna be there for you. So you definitely can check that out if you got to jet out a little early, or if you're late to the show, or you don't get to catch it, you can go there as well. So definitely do that. And last but not least, just handling some housekeeping business. Everybody in here, make sure you hit that like button. Please go smash that like button like Loudman 007 did. Hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Even if you are subscribed, if you haven't went to the bell, once you hit subscribe on my channel, hit the bell and put all, so that way you can you get notified anytime that I end up going live. You will be able to have it, and then you'll be able to know when I actually go live directly, so that way you have all the notifications. So definitely make sure you do that for me, because if you're helping me, you're helping the show. And I definitely do thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I know more people are going to start coming in as we keep going. Bowser says, excited for this one. I am too. Ken says, glad to see your team doing something right for a change. And I agree. And let's see. Dio9, yep, I'm here. Loud man, like I said earlier, go ahead and hit that like button, and definitely hit that subscribe button. AZ Mick, what's going on? Titan Fox, we see he's up in here. Let's see. Titan Overdrive, we got my boy B Payne, and we got 615. So we got some of the usual suspects in here, and we're definitely going to have a very good time. But the breaking news of yesterday was simply this: the Tennessee Titans hired a GM. I don't know if anybody knew that or not, but the Tennessee Titans decided to hire a general manager, and they went ahead and they hired former 49ers director of player personnel Ran Carthon to be the new general manager of the Tennessee Titans. And when I first heard this news, I was definitely very impressed with his resume. Definitely was very impressed with what he has to offer. I'm definitely impressed with what he could definitely bring to the table, and everything. But I definitely liked Brad Carthon. I like the fact that they went outside of the organization and actually, went through a winning organization uh, to, go with a roster, to go with somebody from a winning organization to come in and lead this front office. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was great. And I am definitely very, very satisfied with this hire. I mean, again, my thoughts would have been it's either Ian Cunningham or Rand Carthon. I thought it had to be one of the two. It had to be one of the two. And I'm glad they got this. I'm glad they got this right. They got it right. They got the right general manager in, the right guy for the job. And I am definitely very, very satisfied with this choice. Just a little bit of background on Rand Carthon, because I know everybody wants to know, who is Rand Carthon exactly? Well, he started off, he was born and raised in Osceola, Arkansas. So he was born in Osceola, Arkansas, so not very far from here, probably about maybe about an hour and a half from here. Because usually when I'm on my way to St. Louis, if I have to drive to St. Louis or anything like that, I pass by Osceola, Arkansas. So that's en route, so it's not far from here. Of course, he went to high school in Key West, Florida, and then ended up, of course, as a Florida Gator. And then after his college career, he was an undrafted free agent that was picked up by the Indianapolis Colts, played 3 years for them, or really 2.5, in the 2004 and 2005 season. Then only appeared in 9 games in 2006. And then I believe had an injury. And then he ended up on the practice squad, finishing up the second half of the 2006 season with the Detroit Lions. And so after that, he went into going into the front offices. And here's some of his credentials of front office. So first off, he was hired on by Thomas Dimitroff of the Falcons to be a pro scout. He did that for 4 years, so scouting pro talent, and that would be, of course, within the midst of the season. That's like with free agency, waiver wire, things like that. He helped out with that. And then during the era with Jeff Fisher, in between moving from St. Louis to Los Angeles, he was the Rams director of player personnel for, I believe that was 4 years, or for 5 years, from 2012 to 2016. And then, of course, in 2017, he was hired on with the San Francisco 49ers as director of pro personnel. And that's basically where, as he did in a video, he was really in control of helping with free agency, scouring through the waiver wire, evaluating players that maybe got cut, and, seeing, if some of these guys could possibly become Niners, or free agency, helping evaluating potential free agents. And everything. So that was what he was doing. He was on the waiver wire, on the free agency front. Also helped in scouting to get information to the coaching staff about the next opponent that they were going to play. And so that was something that that's what a director of pro personnel, that's some of the things that they do. And then, of course, he was promoted to the 49ers director of player personnel for the last 2 seasons. And basically with that, not only are you doing that on the pro level, but you're also doing scouting of collegiates. You're doing evaluation of college prospects to see how can they become draft picks for that particular team. And another thing about this with Rand Carthon that I'm very pleased about is the fact that Rand Carthon is now the very first African American general manager in the history of the Tennessee Titans, Houston Oilers franchise. He is the first ever minority candidate in this position, first ever African American general manager of this franchise ever. And he is now only one of 8 African American general managers in this league. He is one of 8. So he is in a very, very short list of guys who are general managers. And so that is very elusive. That is a very exclusive club. Of course, you got the Bears, Ryan Poles. You got the Vikings with Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah in Minnesota. You got and I'm looking up the listing of other general managers. Brad Holmes in Detroit, Martin Mayhew with the Commanders, Terry Fontenot with the Falcons, Andrew Berry with the Browns, and then Chris Greer, who is the longest serving African American general manager with the Dolphins as well. So he is now the 8th African American general manager in the NFL today. So I say again, shout out to Rand Carthon for getting the job. Shout out to Amy Adams Strunk making this hire. I think this is a brilliant hire. I do not know. Now, I do not know if Mike Vrabel was as involved in this process. Some will probably assume that he was definitely involved in the process. And I'm trying to find the Amy Adams Strunk press release that we have, and the introductory press conference is tentatively slated for Friday, and we don't know exactly what date that could be. I mean, what time that could be, but it is slated for Friday, and so definitely looking forward to that. And let's see, I'm trying to do something here. Give me just a second, but excuse me. But the Tennessee Titans did put out a statement, and I'm trying to pull that up right now. There we go. So just pulling up some information. This is what, and I'm bringing up what Amy Adams Strunk had to say about this particular hiring. And, you know, we definitely, on a couple of shows, Trevor Maddich, a college football guru, definitely had a lot to say about that when the news broke on Stillman and Company. He said it was perfect because he basically said it was perfect because you know, the 49ers, one thing about them is they like to be fast, physical, punishing. Something that the Tennessee Titans themselves want to be. They want to be that exact same way. And emulating a team like the 49ers isn't that bad of an idea. And so this is what Amy Adams Strunk released in a statement. This is what she had to say. Said, quote, "We are excited to add Rand to our organization as our new general manager. He brings a variety of valuable experiences to our team as a former player and a successful personnel executive for multiple teams. I was impressed with his natural leadership qualities and his ability to connect with people. With talent evaluation being critical to this role, the roster they have built in San Francisco stands out. He played an important role there, constructing one of our league's best teams." That was a statement from Amy Adams Strunk, the controlling owner, after the official announcement that the Tennessee Titans had hired Rand Carthon as general manager. Of course, another executive basically said that Rand Carthon, he commands respect because he gives respect. And I definitely like that. A lot of people think that him and Vrabel could work very well together. Again, I don't think there's a lot of history between Vrabel and Carthon. So that's something that could be very, very interesting. But we're going to get to some of y'all comments. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. What was your reaction to this hire? And then I'm going to tell you mine. So I want your thoughts. What do y'all think of this particular hire? Browser, of course, said was excited. Ty Fox says Downing fired, new GM straight out of a winning franchise. So many things to be excited about. Do9 said we got a new GM. Where I at? I'm right here. So let's see. I see Brandon, of course, saying tighten up, let's go. 615, like we got him. Pinball said we got some new blood in town. Ty Fox was like, he was my pick out of all the interviews, and bang, it happened. Tight Overdrive likes to pick. Derek Roberts, of course. We got our guy. Thank you very much for the super chat, Derek. I appreciate that. RK said tighten up. Let's see. Zach said, congratulations to the new GM. I thank you very much for that. Harm, what's up with you, sir? Let's see. And that was something else that somebody mentioned was that the groundwork for any general manager or any personnel person is really how you do in the late rounds of the draft, as 615 brought up. And, people were saying that Rand Carthon did very well in helping to evaluate the lower rounds. Definitely got some good players out of there, like a George Kittle, for example, in the later rounds. So, I think I think this is that is a very good thing. So again, I want to hear what y'all think. Let's see. Ty Fox says, I believe he even had a pin. He said he even had a pin in the Christian McCaffrey deal. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Darren Roberts says, shout out to Amy for making history. And that is definitely history. Bringing Gandalf style. You shall not pass. Oh, I love Lord of the Rings. I love that. But again, just trying to get y'all comments. What do y'all think of this hire? What do y'all think of this hire? Miss Sunshine, the lady of Titans and Truth, the support engine of Titans and Truth. Please be careful in that rain. I know down here in Memphis, we definitely getting a lot of rain. Nashville, I know it's probably heading y'all way, probably within the next day or so. Definitely be careful out in this weather because it is kind of crazy out here. And there was a lot of people, even John Lynch was excited. John Lynch was definitely excited about the pick as well, because he definitely showed, he basically said, and I'm gonna try to share this right here on the screen about what John Lynch had to say in regards to Rand Carthon as well. I'm gonna pull this up and I'll do that for everybody so everybody can see it. And so this is right here under the Tennessee Titans Twitter. This is what John Lynch had to say. And y'all give me a second. I'm gonna check my audio. Okay. Just checking my audio because I thought there was something going on and everything. So this is what John Lynch had to say in regards to the hire. He said his background is special, but he has tremendous people skills. You enjoy being around him. He makes an organization better because of his attributes. And this is John Lynch talking about new GM Rand Carthon. I think he's going to do great. So that was what John Lynch, the current general manager of the San Francisco 49ers, had to say indeed. So let's see. Titan Overdrive says great hire. Ty Fox obviously wanted him. Elite says next we gotta get rid of our strength and conditioning coach. I agree. Ty Hugo says I hope he doesn't bring Jimmy G. Herman says I'm excited but surprised. I thought there would be a second round of interviews. And that's the thing. Here's what happened with that. So on Tuesday, they had, yeah, give me a second. Okay. I apologize for that. Hopefully, everybody can hear me pretty well. I apologize for the distractions. Just try to make sure I have pretty good audio on that. But again, let me get your thoughts on this reaction to this hire. Definitely going to be a press conference on Friday introducing him. And yep, that was some of the names that were picked late that have actually done well. So we're definitely going to see. Elite says, in your opinion, do you think we should draft Anthony Richardson? I'm gonna say no to that because I think there are more pressing issues with that. But in the interview search on Tuesday, it came out that they were going to advance, um, three candidates into the second round of interviews. And this was before the Titans interviewed the Bills' senior director of player personnel, Malik Boyd, for the job from Buffalo. And so they had already said that Rand Carthon, Ian Cunningham, and um, Ryan Cowden were advancing to the second round of interviews. And so right after they come out and said they completed the interview with Malik Boyd, I'm thinking, okay, later this, probably within the next few days, they're going to have the second round of interviews. Come to find out, they've already had those interviews. They've already had those interviews. And so I believe Ian Cunningham had already had a second interview on Monday after interviewing on Saturday. And then I think they had already interviewed Rand Carthon again. And then right after they interviewed Malik Boyd, maybe about 3 hours later, reports were coming out that Rand Carthon was going to get the job. So I mean, it was kind of crazy how fast all of that went, but I am definitely glad that we got the guy that they wanted. And I think they got the guy that I think a lot of us would definitely be happy with. My God, Morocco hype man. Say he wants to see the same energy in the OC hire, fresh mind that knows how to put players in the best position to succeed. We're definitely the best position to win. And so, excuse me, you know, I definitely think that they need to continue to do that, go outside the box and go out for something fresh instead of the status quo. Facebook says, are the Titans making a move for Trey Lance? I don't know. It's possible. I did see the tweet from Trey Lance in regards to the hire. And, obviously, the tweet that everybody is talking about. I'm going to see if I can get it to come up. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it in enough time. He probably took the tweet down. I believe he took the tweet down on that, but he had basically cross finger emoji under Rand Carthon's picture when he got hired. So you know, and a lot of people probably started to think, oh, well, is that meaning that Trey Lance wants to come here? He wants to go here. I mean, I don't know. Only time will tell what's gonna happen and everything. So I just think I mean I think it might be possible. But I could definitely see what's going on. I could definitely see Trey Lance possibly, maybe being in the picture. But at the same time, there's a lot of other priorities. I wouldn't give up a first round pick for Trey Lance. And shout out to the Man Hour Sports Talk Network, for having me a part of the network. So definitely shout out to Man Hour. Shout out for you coming on. RK says, is Rand his real name? Um, is Rand a nickname for his real name, which is Ron? Excited about the pick. No, Rand is not his real name. It is a nickname. Um, his actual name, his actual name is Arandrick Cornell Carthon. Arandrick Cornell Carthon. And Rand is just a nickname. So that's his real name. Let's see, 615 says, I would make Ian Cunningham assistant general manager. Well, he's already assistant general manager of the Bears, so I don't know if he would go for a lateral move like that. I mean, eventually he'll probably end up getting a shot at being general manager again next year. I'm pretty sure. So we're definitely going to find out about that. And that's going to be something that's going to be very, very interesting. But for me, I like this hire. I really like this hire. I think it is a slam dunk. I would have been happy with either him or Cunningham, and I'm glad we got Red Carthon. And I just think that, I think he's going to do a good job because I think he's very well versed. He's extremely respected all over the league, and he ain't no small guy. Now, I believe some people in the comments mentioned, if things are things will tell, but I believe he will be gone soon. We are not a team like he wants. I can see Vrabel getting upset. I know there's some who are wondering, could this end up being a situation where it could be Vrabel versus Carthon? Vrabel versus Carthon at some point. And that is the next question that I have. What does this hire mean? What does this hire mean? Now, we have heard Miss Amy Adams Strunk preach about, collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. That's what they want. They want collaboration. They want the GM and the head coach to work together. They want collaboration, collaboration. That was like the big word. And so, again, I don't think there's a lot of history between Vrabel and Rand Carthon, which I could say that, they're going to work together, and I think they could work pretty good together. But at the same time, I don't think Rand Carthon is going to be a yes guy for Vrabel. I definitely don't see that happening because, Vrabel is, we all know Vrabel is, as I said always, arrogant, stubborn, But at the same time, Rand Carthon, his stature, he commands respect. And so Vrabel ain't gonna push Carthon around at all. So you got maybe possibly two alpha males that could go at it. So this could be something very, very interesting because, again, even though it's just like what happened with John Robinson when he got hired with Mike Mularkey. Amy Adams Strunk, she loved Mike Mularkey. She had Mike Mularkey already in place. And when they hired John Robinson, there was no history between John Robinson and Mike Mularkey, but they tried to work together. But John Robinson was not tied to Mike Mularkey, just like Rand Carthon is not tied to Mike Vrabel, which this is what I think it ultimately means. Mike Vrabel is officially on a little bit of a hot seat. Maybe not extreme hot seat, but I think that seat gets a bit warmer, almost getting hot. Losing 7 games in a row to end the year doesn't help anybody. And so now you're under pressure to win again. You're under pressure to get back to winning. And you can say, hey, Rand, I want this player. I want that player. And Rand can give you all the players you want. It'll be then up to you to coach them and get the best out of these players. Because again, what happens if Rand gives him all the players he wants, Vrabel wants, and those players still suck? Then it's going to be on Mike Vrabel. which will also mean Rand Carthon could get rid of Vrabel, because any new general manager, what is he going to want to do? He's going to want to bring in his guy. Mike Vrabel is not Rand Carthon's guy. So I think the clock could be ticking on Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel better get this team back to winning, or else he could be out. Because a lot of people in the media, Jared, a lot of other people in the media, Robbie Rexroth said it. Mike Vrabel ain't trying to be in a rebuild. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. So Mike Vrabel better get to winning, because if you don't, he might be out. And Rand Carthon's going to want to hire his guy. And I think he may want to hire an offensive mind. Because again, with the offensive coordinator, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, if you have a defensive coach and you have a pretty good offensive coordinator, it's a revolving door. Because if you get a good offensive coordinator, he does good for maybe a year or two, that guy's getting head coaching interviews, or he's probably going to take a head coaching job. So I just think Mike Vrabel better be careful. He better get it right, or else he could be on the way out the door. And so, that's what I think this means. I'm going to get to some of y'all comments. Steve Crosby said, "What's up, King Isaac? I definitely see you." He said, "Look like we'll see Charles London, one of the people we're looking at the Senior Bowl. Yeah, he'll be coaching one of the Senior Bowl teams as an offensive coordinator. Maybe we'll get a look at him." Man, I was responding to Derek Roberts about Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, there was some talk about Eric Bieniemy or Matt Nagy for the offensive coordinator position. Of course, Matt Nagy didn't even have the common decency to get back to us and say, "I'm not interested." Eric Bieniemy has basically said, "I'm focusing on head coaching opportunities." But instead of making a name for yourself, Eric Bieniemy, I think, is comfortable and just fine being under Andy Reid, where he thinks it's safe. Steve Carter says, Rand Carthon hire means huge changes are coming. It very well could be. And I think Derek is right. Vrabel does get another chance because he let Downing go. Because if he didn't let Downing go, I could see Rand Carthon coming to him and being like, "Look, you either let Downing go or I let you go." And I'm with 615. There's not really a lot of great receivers out there in free agency. There may be a couple of decent offensive linemen out there in free agency, like an Andre Dillard that could be out there. We're definitely going to take a look at that in the coming weeks. Definitely we stopped the definition of insanity. I definitely agree. And RK, I like this. He says, this hire means Amy trusts Rand and she's going to give him the opportunity to do what he needs to do. Agreed. Another type A guy upstairs to offset Vrabel. I agree. Money might know. Says Vrabel's a smart guy, knows this is a good hire. Him and John disagreed a lot. Nothing spilled over. I mean, early on, it looked like they were going to be best of friends. But then how quickly the tables turned. Tight Hugo, yeah, D'Amico Ryan is going to be a head coach this year. I think D'Amico Ryan is going to be a head coach very soon. C-Dub says Vrabel isn't going anywhere. If he's winning, now with Steve Crosio, no excuses. Oh, he had no excuses. He doesn't owe Vrabel anything. He is not tied to Mike Vrabel. So I think D'Amico Ryans is going to be a head coach this year. And I mean, again, the fact that it seemed like the Titans went out and tried to look at Eric Bieniemy or Matt Nagy, even though Matt Nagy is probably not a great choice, it is saying that they're willing to look outside of the box. But let's talk about the offensive coordinator lastly. Possible OC candidates. Now, we've already heard of a couple of people being looked at for this job. Of course, none of them on this list. Like, for example, the Titans have already interviewed Falcons quarterback coach Charles London, who, again, we mentioned earlier, is going to be coaching in the Senior Bowl as the offensive coordinator. Maybe they take a look and see if he can, if he can call plays, if he can do a good job, and maybe see if something there. Of course, Tim Kelly is the incumbent, so he's definitely going to be getting looked at as well. But these are some other people that I thought they could definitely take a look at. Pep Hamilton, Cliff Kingsbury, we could, of course, eliminate him. Eagles quarterback coach Brian Johnson, I would definitely take a look at him. They probably won't be able to talk to him until their season is over, or at least if they make it to the Super Bowl, they could definitely talk to him. Of course, Alabama offensive coordinator, or should I say former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien, which I kind of hope they don't go that route. A couple of dark horses that I mentioned, and how fitting we have a general manager from the 49ers, a couple of possible dark horses being 49ers offensive line coach and run game coordinator Chris Forrester, and also the 49ers pass coordinator Bobby, not Booby, but Bobby Slowick, are a couple of possibilities. And so those guys from 49ers could be somebody that ran Carthon, maybe tells Vrabel, say, hey, obviously in that 49ers room, he's thinking, hey, I do know a couple of guys that maybe could be decent offensive coordinators, or that could be possibly a good offensive coordinator candidate. You might want to consider taking a look at these guys. And so, Chris Forrester or Bobby Slowick could definitely be a couple of guys you could take a look at. Brian Greasy. Brian Greasy, of course, is the quarterback's coach. And, of course, he was a former quarterback himself. Leonard Hankerson is the wide receivers coach. Those are just a couple of guys they could definitely take a look at as possible possible offensive coordinator candidates. So, that's definitely something that you could definitely take a look at. But I would like to get a guy that has some type of head coach. I mean, that could have some type of play calling experience. 615 says he wants to retool, not rebuild. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people would think. I really think this is a bad hire. Two power heads don't come together. I mean, now, man, why is that a bad hire? I think this is a great hire. I think this is somebody who could put Vrabel in check from time to time. Not saying they won't work together, but I'm saying, hey, sometimes Vrabel needs to be put in his place a little bit. D'Amico Ryan, I think, is a very hot candidate. Again, I think he's going to be a head coach at some point. What up with Hopkins on the free agent market? Right now, the Cardinals are talking about trading him, but I don't know if he comes here. I mean, Vrabel did do some good. Byron Leftwich could be another option. Of course, he got fired from the Buccaneers. K-Board Ken coming in saying A plus higher, just don't bring Jimmy G. I mean, honestly, if you're thinking about Jimmy G, you might as well stay with Tannehill. You might as well stay with Tannehill, to be perfectly honest. Nigel, long time no see, said, "What's up? Great hire. Couldn't be happier. Hope we get a good OC next. Then it's the draft. And we definitely got to take a look at offensive line, too." Elite says, "I don't want Pep Hamilton. No more former Texan players or coaches." And I could agree with that. I want an OC that doesn't want to be here 1 or 2 years looking for a head coaching job. I want a guy that's comfortable being OC for 3 or more years. And that's going to be the hard thing. And that's why I kept saying a lot of time. That's one of the reasons why I was like, at this point, Vrabel could have been fired. Maybe you get an offensively minded coach. That way you don't have that revolving door open, because a lot of people look at more offensive guys than defensive guys. And I mean, D'Amico Ryan is getting a look because, hey, they have one of the hot defenses in the league right now. So a lot of people are going to look at that, and everything. So that, is definitely something. Stephen Carter says Bill O'Brien being looked at by the Patriots. That's very interesting. Who is quarterback one going to be from Pigwickle? What's up with you? I have no idea. And I know we got about 43 to 45 people in here. Everybody, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, definitely hit that like button. And then also hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and hit all, so that way you get all of the notifications whenever I go live. So that way you will know. Titan Rossi, what's up with you, sir? I know you got a big show coming up tonight as well with Corey Curtis. So y'all definitely make sure y'all check out Titan Rossi as well. Jimmy G equals Tannehill equal Carr. And I agree. I mean, I just think that Ryan Tannehill is better than Jimmy G, and it's about the same as Derek Carr. So I would definitely see that. But I think they're saying that the Bucks are looking at firing Byron Leftwich, and I'm trying to see if there's any official confirmation. Now, the rumor was put out that they were expected to fire Byron Leftwich, but they haven't yet. 615 says, "I would take a look at Brian Hartline, passing game coordinator at Ohio State." Might not be a bad idea. I mean, that would be Vrabel being comfortable. Give me Chris Forster. If Tim Kelly was going to make a difference, he would have done something in 22 as an assistant passing game coordinator, like Jim Schwartz did for the defense. And Jim Schwartz, of course, just got hired as the new defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns. So now we're going to find out, can Shane Bowen really do it on his own? Can he do it on his own now? Chris Forster, of course, the offensive line coach and run game coordinator, but you still need somebody to help you with the passing game. And that is another name, Mario Houston, along with Brian Johnson. I forgot to mention Mike LaFleur, the former general manager of the New York Jets. Remember, he was out there in San Francisco as well. I believe he was the quarterback coach, I believe, for San Francisco before he got the offensive coordinator job in New York. And then, of course, they fired him. He went along with Robert Saleh to New York, and he got fired. So maybe that is a possibility. Maybe a new change of scenery could definitely be there. And y'all be like RK and hit that like button. And Time Rossi, of course, I'm going to shout you out a little bit, but definitely looking forward. I'm going to definitely try to listen in a little bit on that before I go to sleep on that. BLVG 901 from my old neck of the woods all day. So let's see. Loud Man is right. Y'all go and hit that like button. Everybody that's in here watching right now, please go hit that like button. I should be seeing over 40 likes already. I should be seeing over 40 likes for this show because we got a bunch of people in here. Everybody go hit that like button. Everybody go hit that like button and everybody go in there and please help show me some love. I would definitely appreciate that very much. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe, hit that bell, put all so you get all the notifications every time I go live. Crazy Jamont says, what do you take on Brady coming to the Titans? I would say, hell no, no, no. I'm sorry. There are 3 reasons why I wouldn't bring Tom Brady here. Well, 4. 4 reasons I wouldn't bring Tom Brady here. 1, he's going to be 46 years old when the season starts. 2, he's going to be 46 years old when the season starts. He is a dinosaur. He is a fossil. He's about to be extinct. Number 3, I don't know if we've got the line or the weapons around him. Now, if he did come here, Rand Carthon will be like, hey, we finna build around this cat. Give him his shot. But 4, repeat lessons 1 and 2. Reasons 1 and 2. He's 46 years old. Ty Fox says, fix the O-line and the passing game will fix itself. And in a lot of ways, that is true. Ty Rossi, yes, Mike LaFleur is the brother of Matt LaFleur, of course. So, yes. We will also need a new director of player personnel. Of course, Monty Ossenford did get the job in Arizona. Now, 615 bringing up a couple other candidates. Assistant head coach, tight ends coach, or Pat O'Hara, quarterbacks coach to maybe offensive coordinator. We'll have to see. I'm not exactly sure about that. Let's see. MSGACR said Jets didn't like LaFleur. Ty Fox said, let that fantasy go. Hopkins and Brady coming here will not change anything. I mean, I definitely agree. Mark Brunell, quarterback coach of the Detroit Lions, could definitely be a pickup too. Although that would be very interesting to see a guy who was formerly a Jaguars quarterback who had been an arch nemesis of the Titans become an offensive coordinator. Of course, a former quarterback wouldn't be such a bad idea. Nigel says, pass on Brady. I want them to make a run at a trade to do CJ. You got to keep up with the arms race and all other teams. Oh, CJ Stroud. You got to keep up with the arms race and all other teams in the conference will have a quarterback. And that is true because right now, the Texans and the Colts are in prime position to get Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. We could theoretically move up and mess all of that up for one of those teams. We very well could. And that's something that we're definitely going to find out going forward. So, that is something we're definitely going to find out. But before we wrap up the show, next question is, what now? Right now, I think the next thing that's going to happen is definitely an offensive coordinator search is probably going to pick up. I think he's definitely going to pick up, and that's Power Hour. I was just talking about that with Bobby Slowick possibly being one of the offensive coordinator candidates for this job. Bobby Slowick or Chris Forrester could be possibilities. I mean, Tim Kelly, I think, is probably that's what's going to end up happening. I kind of hope that they don't. Brennan says, I don't trust no quarterback from Ohio State. Might as well trade for Trey Lance. That's kind of basically how I feel about Georgia offensive linemen. I don't trust them either. I don't trust Georgia offensive linemen, especially after Isaiah Wilson. So I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. I am extremely excited about this hire. I think it's a great hire. The press conference will happen on Friday, and a lot of business is really for to pick up. I am definitely happy about that. I am happy about this hire. Congratulations to Rand Carthon, first African American general manager in the history of the Tennessee Titans. Amy Adams spoke very highly of him. Also, John Lynch spoke very highly of him as well. And so I am definitely happy about that. And we're definitely going to see where this all goes. Could Trey Lance end up coming here? I mean, that's going to be very, very interesting to see. And so we're definitely going to find out because another thing, Trevor Mattis said it, that the 49er team was built to be tough, punishing, fast, all of that. And teams that played the 49ers the following week, last season, all lost. They were 0-15 in their very next game after playing the 49ers. So any team that played the 49ers lost the very next week because they got beat up. And one thing that the 49ers emphasized was something that the Titans have emphasized: the trenches. 49ers have a good offensive line. They have a very good defensive line. So that's something that I think you got to build. You build from the trenches back. So, Morocco, I appreciate you, sir. Stephen Carlo says Todd Monken, Georgia offensive coordinator. I mean, that will be very interesting. We're definitely going to find out. But everybody, I think we're going to get ready to call that a show. Everybody, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Again, congratulations. Again, if you have not heard, if you're late coming to the show, breaking news from yesterday, Rand Carthon officially hired as the first African American general manager in the history of the Titans Oilers franchise. A press conference will be tomorrow on Friday. We will definitely hear about that. Vrabel did say he wants speed. I definitely pray that some speed comes to this team, which is something I've been basically banging the table for the last couple of years. It is good to have a show where we finally don't have to worry about complaining about Todd Downing anymore. That is great on that. So I definitely do appreciate everybody for tuning into the show. Thank everybody for sticking with me. Everybody, y'all have a great rest of your night. Again, y'all make sure y'all follow the channels: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just like on the clicker. Go download on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Give me a rating. Give me a rating on that. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning into the show. And I will definitely see all of y'all again, probably before the Super Bowl, unless something else breaking happens. Y'all have a good rest of your night. I'll be talking to you soon. More content on the way.